Welcome to the Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, and track by track. We have arrived at the last track on Sparks' album Number One in Heaven from 1979. And it's a kind of the title track, you could say. It's called The Number One Song in Heaven. Yeah, and this is a song all of us have heard from before.
Yep.
So I think we'll just jump straight into it, have a listen, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. So here we go.
Let's go.
Anybody thinking about Gregorian monks chanting with this intro?
It's predating the 90s Gregorian revival.
Oh, yeah.
Moroder loves his fade-in rhythms.
Yeah, definitely doing this album. Yes, so there we are, the last track on the album.
I just want to hear it live again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I mentioned it before as well, twice now in this early episode, and when we did the review of the concert, that the moment when that song started, it was, or when the drums kicked in the live version, was the most ecstatic moment for me, out of many ecstatic moments.
Yeah, understandably.
Just heavenly.
It's basically two songs in one.
Yeah,
Could say.
and
They're very differently produced as well.
yeah, if I were going to be very picky, I mean, I love this track, and it's one of the best Spark songs, both on the album and overall. But the transition isn't that great from the first part to the next.
Well,
I don't mind it, but
it's fading out and then something else starts.
something else fading in, and suddenly there's some drums.
Yeah. And the drums
It's not the smoothest transition.
it's not that we don't have drums in the first part, but they are very subdued. And there's no cymbals or hi-hats or
There is an increase in the tempo a little bit as well.
yeah, that there has to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, definitely is. I mean, it isn't doubling the tempo or anything like that, but there is it does go quicker.
Change of gears.
Yeah.
Definitely feels like you do. Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it two different songs, but the part one and part two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an abrupt change.
It's
or
not,
shift.
yeah, I didn't mean they different songs. It's like two songs in one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely two parts,
Mm.
two distinct parts, a slow part and a quick part. The single version of it, because it was released as the, the second single from the album overall, the first single in UK from this album. And that is focusing on the last part. There's an edit that is starting where...
part two.
I'm not going to start with the drums, but I mean, we have a music video here we can have a look at afterwards.
There's basically only the second part.
Yeah.
Mm.
That makes sense, and that was what they played live as well, and quite often. Sometimes I do think they have played the whole song, but usually they will focus on the last part. I mean, the whole song is great, but it does lift up on the second part.
And the lyrics accelerate as well, from being number one song in heaven until it sort of falls down to earth and it's in your car and advertisement and children sings it and of course Gabriel plays it.
Yeah.
So it's like a slow beginning Gregorian, you said, and then it turns into this multi-global disco song that is sung everywhere. So it's sort of...
Yeah. I don't know how you analyze that, if it's meant like a doomsday or...
Yeah, no, I'm not sure either, right? Because it is, as they say, written, of course, by the mightiest hand. So I'm assuming that would be God or Ron having some very high views of himself.
Yeah, that could be.
He's allowed to.
Yeah. Can be. He could fit into that description very well.
Yeah, well, maybe... Why are you hearing it now, you ask?
Maybe
you're closer to hear than you imagine. Maybe you're closer to hear than you care to be.
Yeah.
That's sounds involuntarily. You don't want to hear this song, but you do.
There's number one song in heaven, so was it written in heaven and only here? I mean, the confusing part is that you also then hear it in cars and
everywhere
on earth later, and so that's a confusing part. But Gabriel loves it. At least he plays it. Is he a DJ in this setting?
Yeah, he's dialing the knobs.
Yeah.
No, it's a wonderful track, fun and beautiful melody, and great rhythms and. Production, great singing.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect ending.
You did mention the part about the fade. That seems to be going on quite a bit on these songs. But
and other Moroder.
So it's his style
as well.
Yeah.
Does it happen on every track? More or less.
More or less.
There's something fading in. Something starts and something fades in.
Yeah, it's like the rhythm track usually fades in.
Yeah.
But that's it's a good trick.
It works.
Yeah, definitely does.
Sort of gives you the impression that these songs are just played somewhere and then they transmit to you. They exist somewhere else, in heaven or elsewhere, and you get to listen in, and they drift towards you.
It's also a meta song. I mean, it's a song about itself. It's a song about the song.
Yeah, that is.
And they kind of do that on their next lead single, on their next album, When I'm With You. It's also very meta, because in the break there, the lyrics is this. I can't remember exactly how it is, but the whole concept is that this is the break of the song, and I should say something clever, but I can't think of any clever to say.
Oh yeah.
It's also a reference to the song itself. So that's a trick they do occasionally. The song, written by the two brothers and Giorgio Moroder, as some of the other songs on this album. It's the longest track on the album, almost 7.5 minutes long. And as far as I can tell, it's the longest song Sparks ever released on an album.
Oh.
There are extended versions and things like that. Even Trials for the Human Race has an extended version that is longer. But as an album track, there are no songs that are longer than this one. a few contenders. I had a look through it yesterday. Ugly Guys with Beautiful Girls is over 7 minutes long. And
Which album is that from?
Little Beethoven.
Oh, yeah.
And As I Sit Down to Play the Organ at the Notre Dame Cathedral is also 7 minutes long. Or about
Interesting
7
title.
minutes. Yeah. It possibly takes the prize for the longest title. Although there are a few contenders for that as well up through the years.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, released as a single, as I said, the first single that came out in UK. So it will occasionally be regarded as the first single from the album. As we mentioned before, La Dolce Vita tend to be forgotten sometimes because it was only released in Germany and Italy and the continent. And so it was edited down to just below 4 minutes, 3:48, and they kept the album version on the 12-inch version of the single. So it did very well. This was their comeback in a way in UK. It reached number 14 on the UK singles chart. Because as we mentioned, Beat the Clock beat that. It went up to number 10. And it also reached number 5 in Ireland. So it became their biggest hit since 1975.
Okay.
Which isn't that long before, but still. It's been 4 years since the last time they had chart success.
4 years is an eternity in pop music.
And as they did with Beat the Clock, this single came out first, so Virgin also released this in multiple different colors, or at least 4 different colors: black, green, red, and blue. And of course, Beat the Clock had 12 different colors, so they really,
well, it's 12 hours. So.
Went all out on that one. UK press, they were mixed as they were with the album. This came out around the same time as the album came out. And some found it just ridiculous, pastiche of a disco, and others, they praised it. Sandy Robertson from Sounds, for example, called it icy, sharp, and fresh. But in the years since, it has been hailed as one of the defining tracks of the whole, or at least the early synth pop genre. It isn't quite, it hasn't, you can dance to it probably, but it isn't quite disco either, I would say.
No.
Not the traditional disco song.
I don't think about it like that, no. It's more like the way you would expect Depeche Mode to make disco. So it's
Yeah, and they were definitely inspired by it. They are mentioned on my list of people that, or bands that were where this song kind of paved their way for, along with Soft Cell, Erasure, and Pet Shop Boys. And Joy Division, they cited this song as a direct influence. Stephen Morris said that it helped shape Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Okay.
Along with Frank Sinatra's My Way, I think it was mentioned in the same sentence. If I remember it correctly. Could have been another Frank Sinatra song. Yeah. So if you combine those two, you will get Love Will Tear Us Apart.
That is quite funny to think. It's maybe not the first references you would think of.
No, probably not. So later it's been ranked in Paste magazine as, or it was at least mentioned on the list of the best synth pop songs of all time. And the title has become quite emblematic. It's the name of a biography by Dave Thompson, #1 Songs in Heaven. I'm pretty sure it's been used on compilation albums as well. We have, there's at least a tribute album, Amateur Hour, I think that's also called #1 Songs in Heaven as a subscript. Along with the single, they also recorded a music video for it. Maybe we can have a look at it.
Wonderful analog synthesizers. sounding like nuclear plant control rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, smile. Almost. Well,
As close as you can get.
maybe it was just a cramp. Does it
Oh, he does that.
dance already?
Yeah. Well, similar.
But he didn't start his dance routine until 1982.
He was thinking about it.
Yeah, this is as much as he did dancing. That's 79.
Yeah, you can see the visual. You talked about the bands like Pet Shop Boys or Soft Cell or other synth pop duos. You can also see it visually, especially Pet Shop Boys. With one singing, one
Just standing there.
just standing
Yeah.
there, being lactonic
And also the
And,
the contrast in
passive.
colors.
contrasting colors
Yeah.
and the hot warm.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the blueprint is here.
Mm.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
actually is.
They also re-recorded the song in 1997 for the album Plagiarism, with the Jimmy Somerville joining in on vocals. And it was reimagined with Tony Visconti's orchestration.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm a bit conflicted around that album. We should definitely do that album as well, but it will be on most of the songs that we've heard before.
Mm.
And it's a very long album. I think it's 19 songs or something like that.
Mm.
Or 50, many songs. And they made a new video for it then,
Okay.
which is definitely more stylistic.
Mm.
But I think we will leave it to
Later.
Yeah, do that.
when we do that album.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they played it live, as I mentioned. They did play it a little bit around early 80s, when they sort of went into their new phase and started to having much more success in the US. Even then, they're complaining about the audience is so brand new that they haven't even heard these songs on this album. So when they played these songs from this album, there was, not that much reaction from the audience because they hadn't heard the songs before.
Mm.
So I think they quickly stopped playing songs from Number One in Heaven, including this songs. But it is played a little bit in the early 80s, around 82, 83. And then it wasn't picked up again until the 90s. And since then, it's been played a lot. It's one of the songs they played the most. It's been played at least 300 times, including 37 times, I noted, with the FFS, together with Franz Ferdinand. So they went on tour with them, and this was included. So it's one of their staples, you could say, on the set list. And of course, we heard it as well. And it was, can understand why they
Great.
want to play it.
Yeah, totally. You do. It's hard to understand why it wasn't a staple in the 80s. But I guess they were preoccupied with other things.
I think the set list in those days were very dominated by the album tracks from that period.
Mm.
Also because they had so many radio hits. They
Yeah.
didn't do that well on the charts, not necessarily. They did receive their biggest chart success in the US at around that time, but it was a lot played on radio. Yeah, so they focused mainly on songs from those albums.
Yeah.
But they
Promoting
always,
the last album.
yeah, and they also, they always included songs like "This Town Ain't Big Enough for Both of Us," for example. That's been a real staple through the whole career.
It's the calling card.
It's also been covered. At least 11 cover versions exist, which makes it perhaps the third most covered Spark songs. It was covered by Telex, Belgium electronic group that Sparks would actually cooperate with a few years down the line. Even recorded one of their albums in their Belgium studio, for example. Translated some lyrics for one of their albums as well. We'll come back to that in some later episodes, I think. And they did a version in 2006. a post-punk revival band called the Futureheads did an a cappella choir version of it in 2012. Odd choice. And an
Sounds
industrial metal band from Düsseldorf called Die Krups made a version in 2021.
I had no idea.
So yeah, no, it's a popular song, I think we can say, and I would imagine that most people that regard themselves as Sparks fans will have both the solo album and this song high on their list.
And we do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't have more to add about the song. So when we are on the topic of songs on this album, it's only 6 songs, and you have now heard the whole album as well. Chris already loves it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, this really goes to the top of my list of Sparks albums. It's an amazing album, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really is.
There's not a bad track on it, and it's not only that, but all of the songs are really, really solid and great.
Should have sold millions.
Oh, definitely.
And it flows so natural, song from one song to another. So the whole album feels like a natural whole, because they are all, they're more consistent in style than before, and not that always is a good thing. A lot of variety is also a good thing, but they have had before.
Yes, it depends on the style.
Yes, a lot of changes even in the same song. So this is it's a different album because the whole album is more or less in the same style. So it's harder to single out favorite, I would say, because they all feel so. It feels like 6 parts of a symphony or a whole or something. Yeah,
that part could be tricky. Yeah. I would say that one of the songs that I wasn't familiar with probably will be one of my favorites. Maybe also because it's new, but My Other Voice.
Yeah, that is the definitely a highlight.
I can say it's forgotten, but since it wasn't a single, and it was a B-side, but only on that slightly obscure first single, you can very much regard it as an album track, I think.
Is it the one that's least played? I cannot make it out.
It definitely is the least played song on the album, and it doesn't deserve that, I think.
No, not by far.
No, all 6 songs are top songs, and but if I were to pick one, maybe it would be "Try It for the Human Race," because that's the one that that's the hook that grabs you in and makes you sit down and I got to listen to this, and then it doesn't stop until after 40 minutes because it just flows. It just has an amazing opening, and well, but no, I think I will not pick a favorite here.
No, I could easily pick that one as a favorite, and it wouldn't be even a difficult choice. I just absolutely love that first track so much.
I do too.
But the rest of the album is super good as well. It kind of is the song that made me, because we talked about that in earlier episodes, how I didn't particularly enjoy Sparks on the first listen when I started with the first albums. And as I listened through the album, the real turning point came when I put on this album. And I thought, can they really do something that is so much different and such a great album? I need to go back and re-listen to these albums again. And then it dawned on me and changed things for me. So that's kind of
the gateway drug. The
gateway drug for me into Sparks was that song as well. But even regardless from that, I think it is such a great track.
We could say that this might be one of Sparks' creative peaks, considering what is the album that is following this one. I guess you don't know it. But
no, not heard it yet.
Terminal Jive is the next album. It's often paired together with this because it's also Moroder is involved there as well. Sparks took more reins there, but they wanted, Sparks never repeat themselves. They always change things up to people's frustration and the manager's frustration. There's a quote from Joseph Fleury, who took over the manager role around this time. I think it is when they go from Sparks in outer space into pulling hats out of a hat, because Sparks in outer space had given them their biggest hits in US, and there was a sense that they were really on to the big breakthrough. And of course, they changed the formula slightly again.
Of course.
And he said going into the album, he just knew they were going to change things, and that they're not going to maybe also spill that chance of a big breakthrough. And indeed, they did.
Yeah.
So Terminal Jive isn't number one in heaven, I think we can say.
It's very different. Yeah.
And it's often also not regarded that highly as well among Sparks fans and the band itself. Mentioned it before, Moroder didn't let Ron play on it, for example. He writes the majority of the songs, and I don't think he plays a thing on that album. It says on the cover, probably just for the sake of it.
Okay.
So Ron didn't have a very good feeling of that album, and maybe Russell didn't even when it was done. That's also an album that, apart from the big hit single "When I'm With You," they didn't play anything from it.
No.
In later years, and after that it changes quite a lot again.
It does.
So ranking, I mean, it's definitely a highlight in Sparks' career, but when you start to compare it to other great Sparks albums, I find that difficult because they're also different. Would you pick this over Kimono My House, for example? I find it very difficult because they're both such great albums, but they're also so different. They're hard to compare.
Very hard to compare. Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe we shouldn't.
We don't need to.
No, we don't need to.
We could say it's top 10.
But if I were to pick, let's say, 5 Sparks albums, I think this would have been among them at least.
Yeah, it would for me too.
Without ranking them.
Yeah. Not heard them all, so.
No.
But I can't imagine there be.
And I also haven't heard
5 albums better than
all
this.
the album songs. So I cannot really say. There might be some surprises coming. There will be, of course, knowing this is Sparks.
Yeah, it will. And some great albums to come as we move into the 80s as well.
Yeah.
And some great songs, not at least.
It doesn't end here.
Definitely not. Don't think we have more to say about the album. It's an album we all love. So let us know in the comments below what you think about the album. Is it a highlight for you as well? Or is it an album that you don't particularly enjoy? That's also fine, if that's the case. We'll head on to another Sparks-related album in the next episode. Not directly a Sparks album, so...
Is it related to the cover of this, the number 1 song in heaven, the single?
In a way it is. There's some ladyfoots stepping down from heaven there. It's actually a great cover.
It is, yeah.
But those of you who are familiar with that album we'll do next will probably know what I'm talking about. For everyone else, you need to wait a couple of days and maybe be in for a big surprise. We'll see. And your hosts on number 1 in heaven has been Frode.
Trond.
Chris.
And to all of you, a big thank you for listening in on us and watching along on our YouTube channel, for those who do that. We'll be back, as I said, in a couple of days with more music that is related to Sparks. So keep an eye out for that and press the subscribe button and notification button and you will be notified when the next song drops on this channel. Until then, you must all have a great day and goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you in a bit.